Hey guys, Red here, and I'm with Kestin Howard, who voices stuff for, uh, video games, YouTube, and he's most popular, to me at least, he's most popular for voicing characters, in Aphmau, like,
Most likely you have heard me as Zane or Dante or ERIC, man! Hoo-ha!
hoo-ha, the hoo-ha, the hoo-ha got me.
Ooh, yeah!
Okay, I'm gonna put this file out right there. I love, Aphmau slash Jess's voice actors, they're all just hilarious. And I have been given, I've gotten the opportunity to interview them. So, kiss now, everyone.
Good day, my friends. How we doing?
So I have interview questions, and before we go on, I want to address this is the picture we'll be seeing. Well, you guys will be seeing. I'll be mess, text, I'll be talking to him, so I'll be seeing his thing like light up. But yeah. All right, I have questions. If you want to get right into it, we can.
All right, hit me with it.
All right. So number one. I already answered number one. Then my number one was what roles have you done? Besides just Aphmau, what roles have you done?
Well, besides different roles for Aphmau, because she has me do numerous different things, I'm starting to land some spots in some computer games that are going to be coming out. We recently got a game that greenlit on Steam, the online gaming network, called Zodiac Axis. You're going to be hearing me in that game coming out as Trevin. He's one of the minor characters in there. There's also a game that's going to be coming out soon called Rite of Passing. I'm also a character in that. That's another Steam game. You'll also be hearing me in an Xbox game that'll be coming out hopefully sometime soon in the future called Veteran's Revenge as one of the mini bosses in the game. So yeah, I've got a few different things going on and hoping to add more as time goes on.
Oh, absolutely, dude. That's a big catalog. All I have is YouTube.
Best way to start out for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, I do want to say address this right quick. We've had technical errors with the calls, but this is the final call, in a sense. And so basically, we're like any technical errors, we'll just have to suffer with it. We've tried pretty much everything we think of. So I'm addressing that for the viewers.
Don't go away, kiddies. We're doing our best here.
Even though it sucks. No. So what roles have you done? Oh, I already said that one. What's your favorite role you've done?
Oof. Now that's kind of hard to pick because a lot of the roles that I've been known for recently has been through Jess Aphmau when I first started out. Um, when I first started doing voiceover, I had a lot of different characters that I'd like to copy to try and get a better idea of how to do it. How to get an idea of voice acting. So when I started out voice acting, I always liked doing the voice of the Joker, like Mark Hamill's Joker. Just to show people that I could actually do that thing. But with Jess, she actually had me voice for the Joker in one of her older videos. But the first real role I had with her was Zane, and that's the one that I'm a little bit biased to because, like I said, he's the first one I did for her, and he's the one that a lot of people have gotten to know over time, and he's become an interesting character.
Interesting he has be. From Minecraft Diaries to My Street Love Love Paradise to My Street Emerald Secret, I believe is a new series. From an evil doer to a goody
Mm-hmm.
a cinnamon roll. So character development, everyone.
Exactly.
Um, so my next question would be, did you ever think you would be known as you or even as a character?
Well, no, I never really thought that I would actually get to this point before. When I first started out, I didn't start out wanting to be a voice actor. I originally started out wanting to be a musician, just wanting to get into the entertainment business. So I did a lot of singing, guitar and piano and things. Do on and off to this day. Which, if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see me doing a lot of singing videos on there and covers and such.
You're
I didn't really
welcome.
start getting into voice. Exactly, that's one of the videos you'll see on there.
Y-
Um,
y-
but I actually started out on YouTube doing a machinima. That was like the first thing I ever did. That was using Super Smash Brothers Brawl. It was a really tiny part. I don't think it ever got past one episode. But they had me do the voice of Captain Falcon from there. But they wanted to do it as the voice of make him sound like Zap Brannigan from Futurama. So it's like Captain Douglas James Falcon reporting for duty.
I think I've seen that one. I
It's
think.
called Commandos Brawl Police. It was like
Okay, maybe I didn't
it
see it.
never really, yeah, it never got off the ground. But I do have memories of that. And then as I started learning more and realizing how many things had voice acting in, I started meeting more people, started making connections, starting learning how to do it better online and how you can actually transition into doing it more professionally. And yeah, that's how I never really thought I would get to this point, but I'm happy we're here now.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because so many people are like, voice acting isn't a job, and you're like, I didn't think this would be on my job. I'm like, yeah, well, you just kinda.
Oh, yes. For any doubters out there, let me tell you, voice acting, it does require work. It's not just standing, talking into a mic, and making money. That's a very oversimplified version of it. Because voice acting does require you to know how to act. Basically, you got to have some kind of experience in there to help make your characters believable. Especially like for a job like this, when people can't see you acting, you got to convey emotions and actions and things like that with just your voice. And it's even more interesting with things like Aphmau does, because with a Minecraft character, you can manipulate the voice sometimes and the arms and legs a little bit, but a lot of stuff you got to try to convey more so than usual than you would with like other animations, and try to convey like these actions and these emotions and such through your voice. So it's a really interesting ground to actually do voice acting in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I honestly don't have very much experience. The funny thing is, I do have a playlist on my channel, um, self promotion, um, of just my voice, quote unquote, voice acting, which is just me just voicing over things. Like I did one of Flowey the Flower, and like,
Yeah.
oh, keep going.
No, no, I was gonna say, yeah, that's one I've done as well, because, I mean, there's no problem with that, because if you want to find an easy way, or an easy way to actually start getting into voice acting or learning a bit about it, just start taking like clips from video games or animations and start listening to them. Start trying to figure out how you can make your voice sound like that. Start learning about why these characters would sound like that. It's a good way to get practice in.
I mean, the other real character idea would be Sans from Undertale. I mean, it's not perfect, but
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, he always has that carefree, almost. He has like the little laugh like you'd hear from Elmer Fudd and Looney Tunes, but it's like, hey, hey, what's up, kid?
Hey, what's up, kid? That's
Exactly. So it's good to always start out with maybe emulating, because Sans, even though he has like the little laugh in the game, he never had an official voice. So it's good to try and take concepts like that and try to build your own unique voices off of that. And that's what a lot of people like to look for nowadays. Is that there is people do like to look for some people that can sound like famous characters and famous people, but when you can create your own voice, that's a really good seller for you.
yeah. I mean, I again, like I agree with you, but I have no personal like experience in this field, so I can't really agree with you there. But I agree with you. Like this is a good point. Uh,
Right,
um,
right. It's just something to log for down the road.
yeah. I think you've already answered this, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Did you ever believe you'd be doing this when you were younger?
No, really. I had no idea that people actually did this for a living when I was a kid. I had always liked like imitating cartoons, like I mentioned, Looney Tunes. That was like my big thing when I was growing up as a kid and trying to emulate people like Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck and things like that. And then as I got older and started reading up on it and starting to realize that these people do all these things like cartoons and narrations and commercials and stuff. And I was like, you can actually do that for a living? That sounds awesome.
That's a
So yeah, I had
job.
no idea I'd be doing this when I was a kid.
Um, what do you mean
So
this is
get
a
me in on
job?
that.
I want to like a boost of money. Um, but see, okay, so my next question would be, how did you meet Jess Mal? Like I like to call her, Jess Mal. It's her ship name.
Okay.
Jess and
Well,
Aphmau put together.
oh, I see.
It's more of a joke than anything.
Well, right. So, so here's how it happened. She actually contacted me first when I was this is back around I'd say near the end of 2014. I was in graduate school at the time trying to get my master's degree in business, and I had already been doing voice acting for a while and had some demo reels out there. Which, for those of you who don't know, a demo reel is just like a 1 minute clip where you put like a sampling of your best voices out there for people to look up and see if they want you to be in their project. But anyway, Jess had found my demo reel on YouTube and messaged me through there and started saying, "Hey, I like listening to your voice, and I think you would be a good fit for a game that I'm working on." And what it was, she doesn't have it up now, but she was making a little server that was a Minecraft game based on Pokemon, which she called Pixelmon, Iron, and Coal.
Yeah, she
So it
still
was a
has it
live
up there.
server. People, Pokemon in. Oh, well, I didn't realize that.
I think it's called
But
like Polar Ice or
she
something.
wanted
I
me to be
think
in the game as.
Lucario.
Hmm. But she wanted me to. She wanted me to be the announcer for the game. So when you started up your adventure in the game, you would hear me, talking like you would hear in the Pokemon show on TV. It was like, Pokemon, these fascinating creatures live everywhere. Said, what fun, new, exciting adventures await you in this brand new world? And you would hear that every time you'd start up the game, and that's how I first met Jess.
Okay. Yeah. See, I just think that's interesting because, like, I've just always wondered how did they beat Chess Mal? Yeah, I haven't really nobody's really said anything like, oh, that's how we met her was like through online or we're online buddies or whatever.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. What now?
Okay, let me try to fix that because I'm not sure what's going on. I'm still recording. Give me one second. What is going on? Kestin, you still there? Kestin? I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm not picking up him. Alright, I'm gonna give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right. Alright, guys. I'm sorry for what happened. Technical difficulties. Blah. Um. So here's my question, Keston.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the part of Zane slash Dante?
Well, it actually started out with just Zane starting off when before My Street even existed. It was
Minecraft Diaries.
just yes, Zane appeared in Minecraft Diaries long before and Zane was the first one to get a voice.
Was he?
So
Huh.
yes, he got a voice before Dante did.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So
so
technically you were Zane before you were Dante.
right. Um, so what had happened after I'd done the Pokemon game with Jess, it had been a while since I heard from her, and she actually started pulling me in again for a couple of like smaller projects, like she did like a role play of Five Nights at Freddy's where I played the security guard, Jeb, I believe his name was, and the phone guy that would call in every now and then too. So I did that for a while, and eventually she called back up and said, "So listen, I've got a character here that we're going to finally give a voice. He's the bad guy of this series." And she said, "Would you be interested in maybe sending a sample, letting me hear an idea you have for him?" So I did the voice, and she's like, "Well, I'm liking it," said, "You can have the part if you want," said, "but I will warn you, it may not be what you expect." I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, this character is just pure evil, and the fans do not like him." She said, "You will probably get a lot of people commenting on your own videos saying, like, Zane, go die in a hole somewhere or something."
Did that actually happen?
Like, oh, yeah, I had people get on my videos saying how much they disliked Zane and what, "Zane, why did you kill this guy?" and blah, 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 and all that. And I'm like, listen, if I'm a voice actor, if I can get people to hate me that much just from playing a voice for a character, then I've done my job right.
Wow. I mean, that's definitely one way to look at it.
Yeah, so I took the part, and it was history ever since.
Huh. Yeah, I gotcha. Um, so what about Dante though?
Oh, well, Dante, he came a little farther down the line. He never actually spoke until My Street started up.
Really?
Yeah, he never even Dante never had a voice in Minecraft Diaries until season, like late season 2, I think it
Oh.
was. Yeah, so he was mute until then, and by that time he had already gotten older at that point, so he didn't
Yeah.
sound exactly like he was in My Street.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they were wanting to pull in, or Jess wanted to pull in a new character that was friends with Garth and Lawrence, and had plans on staying with him. And she wanted him to sound like, bright, energetic, a little bit sarcastic at times, a bit of a womanizer at some times. But so she started putting out the audition to like some of her voice actors to see what they had in mind. I put one in, and she happened to like my take on him, and yeah, we were able to make that one work as well.
Okay. On the same note of him and everything, his friendship with Travis in the series, that is.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to ask Pat a similar question. Um, I know Pat. I know Pat like doesn't really show like very dirty signs, a dirty like side, but like his character's very perverted. Like he'll just be staring at Caitlin's butt every once in a while. Look, this is Aphmau series, not mine. All right. But how was that for you? Like, did you go, oh, okay, I'm good, or go,
Well, I mean, you gotta keep in mind, Jess with these series, she does still try and keep it, um, family friendly that everybody can watch it. Um, and Dante, he's the kind of guy that he may ogle at girls at times, but he never gets to a point where it's creepy or anything like that, or it's stepping over a line. He just likes to think that he's I mean, the type of character he is, he
is a
is,
chick magnet, but really is not.
yeah, he protrudes a lot of confidence in himself, but I think that kind of overshadows that inside that he's not as he wants people to believe. So he goes up and puts out this really, suave look in front of the ladies, when inside he doesn't really know what he's doing. So it was interesting to try and build that character, as time went on, as to what his mindset would be when going into situations like this.
I mean, I do love how Aphmau is amazing at character development, though. From Zane becoming a good guy to from a bad guy to a good guy, and also from Dante being a womanizer per se to really just an overall okay guy, like in Minecraft Love Love
Hmm.
Paradise.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Jess always takes a lot of time, personal time, trying to develop these characters, and she puts in a lot of hard work on her end. I don't think a lot of people realize that sometimes is that she moved out there to Seattle with her family, like a husband and two kids, and she this is her job. She does this for a living, and she puts in a lot of effort trying to get these things written out, trying to record all of these things through Minecraft, and to be able to be a part of that and to help bring these characters life along with her is a really great privilege for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I honestly, Aphmau is one of the higher people for me. I'm like, honestly, voice actors are amazing, but like Aphmau does role plays, and her role plays are amazing, and she does Minecraft, Minecraft is amazing, and everything she makes, like any time in the world, to me is just amazing, and to many many others as well. And I think it would be an honor for any of her fans or even people who think she's pretty neat to even work with her. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I'm shocked even to this day that I've had the chance to be able to work with her on this. So like for me personally, I've out of all the voice actors she has, I've probably been one of the ones that have voiced for her the longest over anybody else. Like I
Yeah.
was one of the people brought in, to start voicing characters, on the side, and that's why it was so neat that this past year I was actually able to fly out to Seattle and meet her and
For
her
PAX
family and her crew for the
West, I
first
think.
time.
I think for a PAX thing or for a
Yes, at PAX
convention.
West, and they.
Sorry,
Uh,
that's when I seen your face for the first time. One of Aphmau vlogs.
Yep, that was it. They put me up in a hotel there, and we all hung out there at PAX. They were all really nice, treating me, showing me around and everything, and it was just a great time. She's a really nice person, and she just it was just great to be there and to see all that and be a part of that.
Yeah. I've been looking at your image, basically pretty much anything really, and it's Lucario in a what do you call that? What type of hat is that?
Well, that hat is actually an I just call it an Aussie hat. It's actually an Australian Outback Cat. Um, I used to wear one of those just about all the time growing up. Actually, when I was in my teens. That was kind of like my thing, my signature thing, where people would see me. They would see me with that hat, and I thought that would be a neat thing to put along with my my little channel mascot, my Lucario. So I just kind of photoshopped that hat with it, and now that little image is kind of stuck for me, and I still wear hats along that line to this day.
Yeah, I think that's awesome though. I mean, have you guys never gotten yelled at by like a Pokemon or anything? I mean, Nintendo, I guess would be a better phrasing for using their character as one of your characters.
Oh, necessarily, no. I don't think that would really become an issue unless I actually tried to start selling merchandise, claiming that the character was my own, which I don't think I would plan on doing. I would probably want to do something that was just like a caricature of myself. So yeah, that thing is just for YouTube. I had originally thought about changing my name on my channel at one point, but everyone seems to know me by this moniker now, and I was like, well, I might as well let it stick. But probably best if I don't try and market that anywhere past that or try to make profit off that character.
Oh, absolutely, I gotcha. It's kind of like that guy Barney. He can't profit off that because it's Barney, like the kids show.
Hmm. Right.
Where does the claw part of your name come from?
Well, how I got to naming myself that is that when I first started out voice acting, I was part of a little group of voice actors, just six people together, called Six Sage Studios, and we act. They actually held a contest to see who would be like the newest members of this group, and I was one of the people to win. and they said, so now that you're part of this, they base it off of the six sages from Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
So like each person has a specific medallion. Yes. So I was the light medallion, and they said you need to pick a character to represent you. And I tried to think of something interesting, but I came up with Lucario, and I was like, well, how can I make this a little bit more interesting? And I thought of Lucario's steel claw attack,
Okay.
where he busts it out from his hands, and I was like, well, Lucario's claw, it sounds neat, but since my name starts with a K, might as well replace the C in claw with a K, and bada bing, bada boom, there it is.
Hey. Okay, so my last question, but of course we can keep talking unless we each of us has to do something. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so my last question is, what's the thought process behind Zane or Dante or any of your characters in general besides just Aphmau characters?
Well, when you're going into voice acting for a character, it's usually best to look over a script entirely, like not just at your lines, or try and look at your lines and the characters you're interacting with. Like I've taken a few voice acting classes with Crispin Freeman, if you're familiar with him. He right now he's most known for doing the voice of Winston the gorilla from Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, and I did classes with him, and so whenever you go into a scene, you have to ask yourself what you're going to have yourself, and usually someone you're going to be talking to in the scene, your scene partner, and and you ask yourself what is it you want your scene partner to do, and when you determine that in your head, you start trying to build the character around that. Like you're trying to see. So if I want my person to act like this, how does my character need to react to get him to do this? So it's a really interesting process where you kind of just look at a scene in general, try and get a feel for what kind of emotion that character is going to be portraying, and start basically just reacting to whatever comes to you in that scene. And sometimes you'll have directors there that'll tell you, say, oh, okay, I like your take. Let's try and take it in a different direction. We expect him to act more like this. And for a while there, I actually was able to do that with Jess. She would get on calls with me and read lines back to me so I could actually react in a more like real-time sense. But as the more busy she got, we kind of had to back off on that. So she trusts her voice actors to be able to pick up on what's called a cold read, and be able to look at a script and get the idea of the scene and then just go for it right there. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting process, and you'll see that a lot in voice acting nowadays.
No, I gotcha. But that's the last question I really have for you. And I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, and I might just talk to you after the end of the video. But I think that's it, guys. Say goodbyes. That way, it does not weird.
Well, thank you for having me on the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to ask me all this stuff.
Oh, dude, it's been an honor, dude. I mean, I am a huge fan of your work, and honestly, this has just been a fangirl moment just for myself.
Well, I'm flattered. Thank you.
Alright, guys. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!